You want to know the dragons? The dragons in House of the Dragons, they're the chillest fucking dragons ever.
Bro, I
There,
have
there's no
never seen such tame dragons. Oh my
there's
god.
no you hear stories from the original Game of Thrones saying how dragons used to raise this and raise that, and you do the blah 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 blah, burn everything down. You got fucking the people repeating stories of how the dragons used to do this, and when they sent dragons and everything was burned. I don't want a kingdom of bone and ash. The dragons don't do the dragons chilling, napping, chilling in their cave, not bothering nobody. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just Boolin'. Today is a very, very, very special episode because one, Sketch and I found a new show to watch, and two, it's happening in Westeros and throughout the Seven Kingdoms. And I'm talking about House of the Dragon. We
Man.
started, Sketch and I started Wednesday or Thursday last week, and already powered through the first season. We finished the first season today and powered through 3 episodes today. Well, 2 episodes of the first season, I think. No, we're on episode 4. No, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, a whole first season, whole second season. And when I tell you it's been amazing because one, I like to, when I watch stuff, I like to pause it and learn shit. So one of the best things about watching it with Sketch is the fact he's like, pause it real quick, and then it's a history lesson. It's great.
Oh my god. You make me sound horrible, bro.
No, you're not hard. No, I like, and I don't because I got 20 some episodes of me saying how much I love that, so I'm not even worried about it. But it's been a wild ride.
Yeah. That shit is, bro. They are messy in Westeros. Let me just say, can I say that real quick? They are the messiest people. I wanted to
And for
say
fun
this,
sometimes it's just for fun. They're just
bro. It's
assholes to
just,
be assholes.
bro. Like, I had previously read into Game of Thrones just because I love the North. I love I love all of the lore of how the houses
Mm-hmm.
were like formed and stuff like that, and all the age of heroes and stuff like that. That's what I really latched on to because I love fantasy. But I really latched on to start because they seem to hold on to it the most. Um, so like I did like a bit of deep diving on them and whatnot. But I gotta say, out of any fantasy or fictional world that like you could possibly live in, I would never live in Westeros. Not
Oh
because of the
no!
dragons, not
Oh no!
because of the Night King and shit like that, just because regular people are the worst. People all the time talk about how like either the Warhammer universe or the Walking Dead universe and shit like that. Westeros fucking sucks. And just because of the regular people, none of the dangerous shit is really terrifying. It's just the regular fucking people. They cannot not be cunts. A lot of them.
So I mean, it goes to show you. This is a spoiler podcast. We've seen it,
Absolutely.
we've watched it. So if you listen to this, it's because you're interested in the opinion we have of something that you've seen as well. And he said it perfectly. It's like there's so much dangerous thing. There's so many dangerous things inside of all of Westeros and all over the world or whatever, and those things could be. And you want to know the dragons? The dragons in House of the Dragons, they're the chillest fucking dragons ever.
Bro, I
There,
have
there's no
never seen such tame dragons. Oh my
there's
god.
no you hear stories from the original Game of Thrones saying how dragons used to raise this and raise that, and you do the blah 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 blah, burn everything down. You got fucking the people repeating stories of how the dragons used to do this, and when they sent dragons and everything was burned. I don't want a kingdom of bone and ash. The dragons don't do the dragons chilling, napping, chilling in their cave, not bothering nobody. The dragons have only just come out like, I mean, who was it? One fuck. Damon went to see his dragon. That dude was like, "What the fuck do you want, man?" Like,
Yeah.
it's so
He was
and
scared to
so
be in that motherfucker.
and so like the people themselves. And I'm just gonna put it out there. Anyone that want to say they're big enough and bad to have a house or need a house, those are the worst ones. the people with the lords and the ladies, they are the worst.
Oh my God, yes. And
Conniving, backstabbing,
uh,
trifling. I mean, there's so many words we use this whole time we've been watching. It's crazy.
shysters, especially Otto Hightower. Oh my God. Now,
Oh,
now I will preface this by saying, and I didn't I didn't say this. I meant to say it the same when we were watching it, but I preface this by saying I don't like these shows because I know who I would be immediately.
okay. And who
I
would you be in Westeros? A
you
better
heard
Otto Hightower?
you heard what I said about the motherfucker. He's got good plans. For better or worse, he knows what the fuck he is doing. Feed your local fucking snakes, bro.
Listen,
Oh my God, feed your local fucking snakes.
he has good plans, and
Laurie's too.
and everybody's cool, but it's always some kind of stigma when you find out somebody's a foot guy.
Yes, yes.
You
Oh
know,
my God, that shit
so
was so
I
weird.
I ain't
That
even
came
gonna
out of
lie, man.
nowhere.
Otto got his moments. It's the end of the thing. Club foot. This is how they handle certain. Back in those days when you were born with certain ailments or whatever, there was no doctor, there was no braces, there was no nothing. You had a club foot. So he's conniving, doing his things or whatever. He's got the queen fucking literally at the palm of his hand. You know what he wants? He wants her to take her shoes off and put her feet on the table so he can jack off to it.
Craziness. Like, man, that's wild. Uh
Then, and then everyone's fucking everyone.
oh my
Everyone's
God.
fucking everyone. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if your aunt, uncles, sisters. What it's crazy, and we all know those stories, and we heard those stories from when we watched Game of Thrones about the incest that happens within the house of Targaryen to keep their lines pure. But
Hmm.
absolutely, and I'm gonna say it too. We skirt the line with inappropriate shit. Like this is Westeros. We understand that short people, I'm not short people, as young people, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 yada. Okay. Well, that's all fine and dandy. And everybody in the world knows that um back in those days it didn't matter. You a certain
Hmm.
age, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. But the different the things that the choices we make when it comes to reimagining these things is to leave out the shit that we know that was just it doesn't fly these days. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, we know it's old, they don't bathe and they kill people that parades through the streets. There's dragons. Why the hell do we gotta follow half a season of two fucking barely adult teenagers? One's fucking the king and one's going to problem with her uncle. Like it shit that
bro.
I feel like with these stories they could have adjusted those ages a little bit because it was just weird to watch those parts when you know that's a child.
Yeah, and I'm like, it it always veers weird for me because getting into this, like, I'm not into this kind of storytelling, to be honest with you. I'm like, I'm aware of it, but the kind of emphasis that they put on it is just not for me. I'm more of the, like, yo, we got to save the world type or some shit like that. Um, dark or light, I like grim dark, I like noble bright. It doesn't matter, but I'm more in it for the save the world type shit. My problem is, once again, we like, they're kids. Let's let's age them up for the story at least a little
Th-
bit. My
And that's it.
problem is here. Here's my point where I know they knew better. Young Rhaenyra. Enough said.
They and
You
that's I
remember
think
you
that's
remember the
what pissed.
scene?
I remember the scene, and I think that's what upset me the most because they spent episodes telling you how strong and powerful her presence is and how she's super smart. And while everyone in the realm knows that a woman should they don't want a woman to do this and that or whatever, everyone's like, damn, we know her, she blah, blah, this, that, and the other. They want to portray her as this strong young girl that's about to be queen. She got all these quips and for this and quips for that or whatever, and then you throw it all away by making her a little girl with a crush.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
you show all her you flush all her character development down the minute you know she get kissed up on a little bit. All of a sudden, now she's a seducer of a grown ass fucking knight. Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy to me. And by all means, show it as like a puppy love, but don't make it like she did this shit and like she's the master manipulator. Like, nah. But once again, it's the flip flopping for me. And I've said this before. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the credits, so I don't know who wrote all of it, all of the screenplay. But I will say
I saw a Ryan, and then there was a Sarah, but I don't know that. I don't remember their last names.
it's a trope of these kind of stories. But whenever there's high drama and there's implied violence, what for whatever reason always kind of falls flat. And there's always going to be some of that because it's TV. At some point in
Yeah.
time, you're going to remember that it's not real. But at the same time, it should feel natural. Even when you know it's fake, it should feel natural. Nothing should be jarring. And what I do find jarring at times is the amount of flip flopping they do between like extreme violence and like petulance and powerlessness in the weirdest of times. Like they'll yaw from like being this like, oh, we're gonna go get him or whatever, and then somebody says something quippy, and we all forget about it. And also the fact that they play way too much in people's faces.
Mm.
The scene with honestly everything about Kristen Cole.
So I'm not gonna lie, man. I enjoyed Christian Cole from the beginning, especially when he seemed to be that fucking okay. He's just a knight. Everyone knows that Damon's a dickhead. He beat Damon in the joust, and he beat Damon in the battle. I was, okay, that's cool. That's our hero. That's the guy who's going to be keeping people on the straight and narrow. Blah blah blah. Okay, you see what it is when they making their little eyes at each other, and you and I
Yeah,
will have that same idea. It was okay. We see that when they do the fucking time skip, they'll probably be together type shit when she's an adult. Okay, yeah, the flirt and yada yada. But no, man, right in fucking to it, right into
yeah,
it. And it's another thing. People don't got nothing to do in Westeros but talk. Absolutely nothing for do in Westeros but talk. Why are you taking your princess niece to a fucking brothel, Damon?
bro. I'm not even gonna explain that. We've already talked about the fact that the Targaryens are weird. I stand with Robert. They are sister fucking weirdos. And I will never say anything different. The
uh,
Targaryens are weird. I don't give a damn. They're weird. Their whole dynasty is weird. Fire and Blood is weird. Rhaegar was weird. Lyanna was weird for liking his ass. I don't care how pretty he was.
so we say all that to say, um, long story short, what House of the Dragon is about is that it is about the infighting within the Targaryen family about who will rightfully rule the Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms,
Yeah.
and brother uncle fighting sister wife, horrible, horrible shit. Like that's the Rhaenyra pulled a baby out of her one
Yeah.
episode.
Oh
Um,
man. Yeah. Stillborn. Yeah. Yeah.
uh, uh, they literally you heard the cutting sounds of them chopping a fucking 4-year-old's head off.
Yeah.
Then and sketch open my eyes to this because at first I was appalled. I audibly gasped and put my hand over my mouth when fucking the hand of the king said, "We need to put the baby's body on a fucking wagon and take him to the city so people can see what happened to him."
I
And
told
I'm
you.
like a casket, and Sketch was like, I don't know, no, yes, they put this baby on a fucking wagon with his head stitched back on
Yes, sir.
and paraded him through the streets, and
It.
and Sketch was like, it's perfect, that is perfect, and exactly what they wanted to do. word got spread throughout all of Westeros how fucking Rhaenyra killed a baby, and then everyone's jumping ship, everyone's leaving, everyone you talking shit. Ugh. it,
And it's so good because whether Otto knew it or not, because of Damon, it was always going to stick to Rhaenyra. It was always going to stick just because of Damon's involvement. And it was just a perfect fucking storm. He set it up nicely. Damon fucked up perfectly. And it was, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Otto knows his fucking business, as does Laurie's.
the dude killed his father and his brother, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, Otto been pimping out his daughter the whole time.
Wait. I take it back. Wait, I get him mixed up. Otto is the hand.
Yes, Otto is, yeah, Otto Hightower.
Who's Clubfoot?
Clubfoot is Laurie's.
All right, Laurie. Let me take that back. What I said earlier about the shit about the weird dude. That's Laurie's. Laurie's is the one, the weird motherfucker that fucks feet.
Yes.
Um, Otto is the hand of the king that sent his 16, 17-year-old daughter to console the king the 2 hours after his fucking baby and wife got fucking burned.
Yeah, man.
Like ultimately, all this is his fucking fault. He
Yeah.
did that. He sent his daughter to do that. Otherwise, he would have married oh my god, that's right. Oh, I forgot that they wanted fucking Viserys to marry the fucking
Little girl,
The
Lena.
little
Yeah.
Valerian girl.
Lena.
She was like 7 years old.
She's,
Ugh.
yeah, she's 12, I believe.
Oh, 12. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
I got to give it to him. I got to say something about it just because I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't. Y'all didn't have to make the Valarians black just to differentiate.
So listen, I was going to ask about that because the Valarians are a rich house and they're spoken of and talked about all the time in Game of Thrones. So you mean to tell me 200 years they got bred out?
Uh, as far as I know, no, they didn't get bred out. They kept
But
their house.
where were they?
Um, that I don't know. I'm not really read up on the Valarians. From what I remember, they were more they more dealt with like the free cities and shit like that. They call them the sea snake, and they're a seaborn fucking household. Like, so I assume all their shit is based in sea trade and the like.
But they are Valerians and the Targaryens are part
Yeah.
of a larger family.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, conniving. We said this one time before. This motherfucking Alicent, the
Yes.
king, literally stood in front of everybody. He used all of his life force to walk through that room and sit on that fucking throne and tell these people that I want my daughter to be queen. I'm not changing my line of succession. When I die, she's gonna be queen. Love it or hate it, it don't matter. And this bitch, Alicent, she, oh, he, and that's another thing. You
Hmm.
got the whole kingdom that heard the king say who was going to succeed him, and then the day he dies, it's okay to take the word of his wife, whose interest will be benefited if her kid was king rather than his sister, and
Never
everyone's like,
mind
"Oh,
the fact that the hand has been. Everybody knows that the hand has been pushing this the whole time. Like anybody tied up in house politics would know that. Like, I don't understand. Like, and here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you're wanting to show a more progressive leaning um, fight for the throne, then do so. Like, show us an actual fight for the throne, but don't. It seemed like a very put on affair, right?
mm-hmm,
Like,
mm-hmm.
despite the fact that both Rhaenys and Rhaenyra got done dirty, there was no real action to stop anybody. Like no real shit actually done.
It's been a lot of planning, or I'm gonna wait to see what my foes are doing. And it's not so anybody major in power, they're not doing anything. It's everyone, it's the conniving people around them who are fucking knocking over dominoes and shit.
Yeah,
Damon
and
fucking sending people to kill Amon, but they just killed anyone. You got fucking well, I mean, I take it back because the king did hang all those fucking rat catchers.
but yeah, that was Aemon and Aegon, and he was fucking
Aegon.
yeah, he's angry. But my thing is like, case in point, Rhaenyra. She keep every time they talk about like gathering an army and like who were their allies, she keeps saying who swore to her and shit like that, and everybody keeps reminding her that was 20 years ago, and those are words. Like I'm trying to figure out like they want me to believe she's a strong queen and like she's got all these, this ability to lead and shit like that. I've not seen that. Y'all jump ship at a very pivotal moment in her life. So I don't even see her grow up. I
Yeah.
see none of what makes her an aspiring queen. She does not have the aura that Rhaenys does. Purely. They treat her like a petulant child and she acts like one most of the time.
I ain't,
Like,
I ain't seen Rainey's head dip low not one time. Even when her
no.
her her fucking son quote died, she had her held high the entire time.
Yeah. But more than anything else, we hear her talk about how like she's gathering out or like people swore field or whatever. You treat her like a ruling monarch. You give her the attitude that she's a ruling monarch.
Hmm.
Nobody gives her the respect.
Hmm.
But then on the back end, they expect her to act in accordance with like number one, how you're not letting her act. You keep cutting her off at the knees. Number two, y'all write her petulantly. Like nobody with sense will be doing this kind of shit. And number three, you don't let the people outside of her act with any kind of good sense. They're all trying to fuck her over. I'm like, so
Right. And listen, if she tell everyone to get out of the room one more time, so her and Damon can fight with everyone listening outside the door anyway,
bro, I
it's
swear.
crazy. I feel like there's certain parts that they did really well with telling a great story and making you want to know more why people are doing the same things they're doing. But then they're like, oh, don't forget there's a princess. Don't
Yeah,
forget that because I like Rhaenyra. I do. Like I didn't like young Rhaenyra. I didn't like her. Um and I think she just looked, and you called it. She said she just looked like smug and like she was up to something. But
yeah.
I like older Rhaenyra, and I like the moments that she has when they're not making her some grieving mother, or her feelings are hurt for whatever. And that's another thing. Like, she been married to Damon for how many fucking years,
That's what I'm
right?
saying, bro.
How many years has she been married to Damon? And then now all of a sudden, and that's another thing. Damon seems unhinged at times or whatever, but then you literally make Damon a fucking what's the word I'm looking for? The perfect husband
Yeah,
to his Valerian wife and kids, kissing stomach, being nice and sweet to when he married Rhaenyra as well. Like, everything was fine and dandy, but now all of a sudden he want to choke people. He want to throw
I,
shit. I thought that
I.
was so weird because that didn't seem like a dynamic of their relationship.
Here's the thing, and this is just me. I called it from Get. I called it as soon as we saw how he truly felt about the White Worm. Uh, about when he how when he had the same choice as Viserys when what's her name is his wife Lena was about to have the child. Like we saw he was about ready to fucking give her up. Like we've seen the precedent for it. My problem is it jumps out at you and it,
Mhm.
it feels like it's very out of character, but it's not. They just kind of
Mhm.
hold it back. So like all these things that he's doing are not out of character. There's just no lead up to it. He goes from
Yeah.
0 to 60, and it's not like a 0 to 60 of a madman. It's 0 to 60 of rush
Somebody that's
writing.
been.
Yeah, it's not even that. It feels like rush writing. A lot of these characters don't feel fleshed out. I think is what is going on. Now
And
that I'm thinking
that's
about it.
and that's what bothers me because a lot of them are really fucking cool. Like to be honest, you and I like Christian up until we didn't.
Yeah,
Um, the
honestly,
worm, Laris is cool. He was cool as shit, even though he was weird, and fucked up. You know, they got to have that character, that little finger until the feet thing. You know,
yeah,
so
honestly, even with that, because it's an interesting character. Everybody's got their vices. I mean, fucking Littlefinger was into Caitlyn. Fucking Tyrion couldn't stay out of a whore, and Varys couldn't keep his fingers out of every fucking pie. So I mean, I'm not mad at that. It's just another quirk. Everybody's got their weirdness or whatever. What's crazy is out of all of them, Corlys, Lucerys, Otto, Viserys, and Laenor are all complete characters.
yeah.
And Rhaenys, I'll count Rhaenys in that too. But they're the only real complete characters with any real agency in the entire plot. I would count Alicent, but Alicent has literally been a plot device the whole time. Like she has what was crazy to me is, and I give them this A+ for writing. I will give them this B plot. I can understand why Rhaenyra at the end is so like unhinged, especially when her son dies. I could understand they could have played this very well because at that point, this bitch Alicent is living her entire life.
Mm-hmm. And has been in her
Has been
face.
in her whole face. She
Like
is
there been
queen.
said so many times that Allison was just
Well,
the
not even that. Like,
biggest of fucking. She made the girl. She wanted to see the fucking. Ah, that's right. She made the fucking girl bring the. She didn't make her, but she wanted to see the fucking baby as soon as it was born, just to see
yep,
if it was black,
yep,
and then went telling everybody in the whole kingdom about it.
yes, yes, petty. But mind you, this is what's crazy. Not even the petty part, but just the fact that like after that, staring her in the face is Alicent. That bitch is queen, married to the king, has the love of her father, has the
Heirs.
king, has the her heirs, heirs that that her father are proud of, and has very little to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
Mm-hmm.
calling for her head.
Her husband's
And
the king. Her son's a princess. Her father's the hand. Her
from where
lover's the king's guard.
the worst part is, from where Rhaenyra sits, everybody listens to what the fuck Alicent has to say. That's cold, brother. That's cold. I gotta say.
I'm not gonna lie. When they said that Rhaenyra had disappeared for days after Luke died, um, I thought she was heading to do the Daenerys shit and burn King's Landing down.
Shit. I wish. Nah. And I will give Damon credit where credit is due. Because you know about me and decisive action. I believe in it. And Damon is right. Rainey's had the fucking power to blast that little nigga.
Yeah, she could have literally ended the
Yeah,
handled
she
it,
could have ended the War of Succession right there.
took them out. Everyone else flown in on their dragons. Let's go, man. Did you see Otto's face when Rhaenyra walked by with that crown on? He
Oh,
was hot. He was
he
hot.
did.
He looked so fun. And that's another thing. Like everyone has these titles, and everyone's had some kind of respect. Now there's a hierarchy, but it is absolutely ridiculous. Unless you're pouring fucking water for someone, you you everyone's saying the slickest of shit to
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Like
with no repercussion,
your sons fucking blatantly going around and telling their nephews that they bastards in front of
bro,
everybody.
bro. The amount of fucking leeway that Aemon got,
Yo,
the I'm just I don't
you talking about when
understand
he
it.
lost his eye or when he killed Luke?
The whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Oh,
that
that's
kid.
another thing. Luke lost. I mean, Aemon lost his eye. Fucking Alicent was gonna stab the fuck out of Rhaenyra.
Yeah,
Oh, out of the kid.
and also I like how they didn't listen to anything that the Valarian kids had to say.
Yep, yep. Their kids are troublemakers. Their kids are starter. Eye for an eye. Crazy.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, what?
And that's another thing. Like okay, yeah, that's fucked. The dude got his eyes sliced up. But we're not about to. You want to poke another kid's eye out? Like,
Not
listen
even
to
that. Like,
yourself.
how did this happen? Like, what? Why did this happen? How did this happen? Like, beyond like getting around the plot, there's obvious bad blood going on here to the point where like somebody got permanently scarred. Why is nobody asking questions? Like, even in Westeros, like when Bran got fucking knocked off the fucking windowsill by Jamie, they asked fucking questions, did they not?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was a whole investigation.
The whole investigation. The only reason I didn't really get anything because they just assumed that he was climbing and fell because he always climbs.
Yep.
Mm. That's
Crazy.
fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
All in
But no,
all, man. All in all, I think that the show's has done a really well with a lot of parts. We did notice something in the first episode of season 1. The CGI has been amazing all of season 1, and then season
oh
2,
yeah.
episode 1. That was a weird, like obvious break when she was sliding off the. She literally slid off of a dragon's humped wings quarter section, which like a one smooth motion. Like she literally could just climb down it.
Yep.
It bothered me so fucking much, man.
But yeah, it all in all though, for all my gripes though, it is a very good show. It's weirdly written at times, but it's a good show.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
we
I
go
didn't
ahead.
expect it to be as good as it is. I'd heard good things about it, but obviously, I kind of took it with a grain of salt. It's Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones didn't really end on a very high note,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pleasantly surprised by this.
I'm talking about like to the point we've been like two episodes a day. Today we've watched probably like 5.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm looking forward to seeing how the season goes. We're about to go to weekly. Honestly, we got 4 episodes to watch, and then we're on weekly. And then we'll have like 4 weeks before
Hmm.
season 2 ends. So we're like we're powering through it, and we're gonna catch up right in time to watch how it folds out with the rest of the world and stay current. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But then we got to pick another show. You
Oh, absolutely.
but I wouldn't mind staying in that same realm too.
Honestly, I'm down for that.
Okay, say less. I want something like either something that has like a lot of potential and it's new and we're watching it, so we know we can get more, or something that's ended but with a solid enough uh, amount of episodes that we know we're gonna get a good story out of it.
Yeah.
Because I hate getting my feelings hurt thinking that something's gonna be really fucking good and then it gets canceled.
Nah, you right. Like fucking The Pretender.
So
Or Dresden Files. Honestly, I wouldn't mind watching that, running that with you, just to see what you think of it.
Dresden Files, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that. That said, we just starting. Like I said, we first season down, power to the second season. So we'll be talking about this over next couple episodes for sure.
I
Having
have
a
so.
blast with it. I know probably me and Sketch will probably chill and probably finish the rest of the episodes tomorrow. Um,
Yeah,
we'll have some more points and stuff about how things fold. Things seem to be looking like they're gonna be heating up here soon in the next couple episodes. Outside of uh the now Chris and the hand that's pissing me off, but
yeah. Because I thought for sure Lari's was gonna get it.
I'm sure he thought he was gonna get it too. But
Yeah,
I feel we may be pleasantly surprised. The first season itself, I felt like it was solid. I mean, we had to watch it all the way through, so we didn't get to have any kind of like lead up or whatever. But or like waiting period to see how good it gets. You know how excitement dies down and like, oh, did this episode maintain my excitement?
yeah.
But I feel like they're doing all right so far. But like you said, there's not a whole lot of action for them to be fighting and them to be literally like they haven't declared war yet officially,
But
but
they're doing, yeah.
they they at each other's necks and they're doing war type shit. They got councils and all this kind of stuff like happening, but it's just a lot of talk. So I'm looking forward to and now me and Sketch also can go watch the TikToks. I've been scrolling past some motherfuckers fast, so
This
now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna watch some
man been
TikToks.
trying to stay out of the spoilers.
I am, man. I don't mute. I don't like muting words because I feel like the minute I mute something, then I'm gonna miss something cool. So I just stay off that app for a little bit. So I've stayed off Twitter, because it's people still talking about the shit. So I want
Hey
us
man,
to catch up, and then I can be a part. I mean, you know why? It's good. I'm having
I
a
mean,
blast with
fair,
it.
fair.
And then we do have the one about the knights or whatever. That's like the prequel, the in between, the one that's in between.
Oh, Dunkin' Egg.
Yes. So super excited for that too. Cannot wait because after this done, I'm gonna need more. And
Word. Also, leading up to Warhammer, I wanted to check out Hammer and Bolton.
Hammer and Bolton, okay.
All right.
Noted. Now, all right. We appreciate you all stopping with us, taking a listen. Really appreciate your time as always. Feel free to let us know what you think of the episode. Follow, like, share, subscribe. Please feel free to check out Sketches YouTube. The video will be down in the link. All our socials will be down in the link. And again, we hope you have a great evening, day, morning, whatever time it is. And as always,
Don't forget to have fun. Y'all be
all
easy.
right, take care.